So what they say that the TikTok is back, so now let's get back to normal. Well, it's not that easy, guys. This TikTok issue and the whole drama, this whole soap opera, it's gonna go for long. It's gonna be this is just one of the chapters. I mean, the first chapter was, of course, the idea of that. The ruling of the Supreme Court. That was chapter number one. The ruling that ended, at midnight. The other day, a couple of days ago, that went blank, went out of went dark. TikTok, users, consumers, producers. I mean, so channels, businesses, many went are dark for many hours and then what happened was that there was a temporary reprieve, meaning a temporary stay for that ruling, meaning that it's going to go for another 90 days. You have to be kidding me. 90 days? What does that mean, 90 days? Is 90 days, 90 days is 90 days, nothing. 3 months. Think about that. For a big, huge company like TikTok, TikTok is an empire. I mean, this is a huge, huge corporation. You give me 90 days for a company like TikTok to be alive. I mean, think about that. I mean, to survive. I mean, in the biggest market in the world, which is the United States, in the biggest market we're talking about here, the first world, first top number one market in the planet, the first economy, the number one economy in the world. You put out of 175 million users in the US out of nowhere to go, from being out of TikTok. I mean, basically, their account closed. It went dark. They didn't know what to do. I mean, the whole anxiety. I mean, went insane. And many people, if you see the social media, postings, I mean, people went insane. I mean, I'm sure that many people are going to therapy this week after 24 hours that TikTok was put back to business. I mean, that now is back in business again. I mean, think about the anxiety level. Think about the blood pressure of millions of people. That's one of the reasons that the American society in the U.S. I mean, almost half of the population are, it's suffering from anxiety, stress, extreme worry, extreme everything. And I'm not just I love America. I mean, I'm not saying that something you know that's not fair. I mean, I try to be fair, but it's crazy. The whole thing about first you said it's out of business. It's out in the U.S. Can't see it, but then next, well, there is a retrieve, 90 days. Almost like the ruling is here and the other one temporary, retrieve, like making a believe that this is gonna go on, for just 90 days, and that's it. Case closed and end of the story. And everybody happy, live. Everybody is gonna live happily ever after, like like a beauty, something like like a fairy tale, which is not the case, guys. It's not the case. I mean, I don't wanna be negative about this, but let's touch the reality. I mean, let's in the real world, the whole thing about everything is back and everybody clapping, everybody happy. It's okay. I mean, but let's touch the reality of the situation here, and then let's go from there. And my take is here that after 90 days of retrieve, after 90 days, what's going to happen now? 90 days. What's going to happen when it's approaching that 90-day, limit? That was the supposed permission, to, a temporary, tag, so they can, the temporary permit to continue operating TikTok in the U.S. What's going to happen? Day number, let's say 80, when it's 10 days to go. It's like the countdown. It sounds to me like the countdown for when the airspace craft is going to go to Mars, to the moon. It sounds to me like the countdown, look, which is the whole country is like up in arms, and with the anxiety level and all, and excitement. Of course, there's excitement when we put a ship, or like in Mars. I mean, Saturday, big, aircraft in Mars, or more exploration, even beyond Mars, the other planet. Of course, there is, because it's good for mankind, for humankind. Of course, it's positive. But in this case, it's gonna be for attending a funeral home. It's like a 10 days in. Yeah, when it's the day number 81, day number 82, 83, and when it's approaching the mid again the countdown, day number 90, the last hours. Think about that, about the last hours in which TikTok is going to go it's going to be banned again. It's going to go dark again. Think about that kind of level of anxiety, nervousness. I mean, about about a social media company that is a giant, in the world. And of course, TikTok is like very popular among youngsters. I mean, the 20 somethings, the Z generation, what they call, 30 somethings, almost by any age, but most, I would say 70-80% of the users and consumers of TikTok entertainment is young kids, teenagers, 15, 14, 12, 10 years, you name it, 10 years old, 20, 18 years old. It's, because it's a lots of entertainment, short form videos and all kinds of, formats of entertainment for youngsters. You name it, and they have it, and they're very, very popular. It's a giant company, no doubt about that. But the idea of that, what's going to happen now? When the time is approaching again, the 90 days. Guess what? Today is day number 2 already, right? And it's another 88 days to go, and it goes really fast. 88 days to go. So what's going on with all these small content creators in TikTok that they millions of them making money? Making little profit, producing and exposing their creativity. Putting their creativity, the artistic, creative, talents in this social media company that really, yes, allows them. Yes, it is. It's useful. They allow them to do that, and many people are making money, and of course for entertainment. Kids has become so used to, after school, or right now that it's summer. Right now is a Christmas season that just passed by. The holidays, and the kids were out of school, and of course with TikTok is almost all day, and if possible all night. So think about that. For content creators, what's going to happen? And I guess they have to give a second thought of what to do, right? Second thought of what to do, and even if there's an extension of those 90 days, what's going to happen with the value of the company? I would think about that. The value, the price of the company's stock. How is it playing now? Today is Monday. How is it in the stock market? Well, I guess it went up again, right? It goes down when the company has trouble, and it goes up when the company is back. But guess what's going to happen when the 90 days is approaching again, right? And that's one of the, guys. And what's going to happen with this company? If other countries trying to follow the same example, the same lead, let's say the Canadian Supreme Court, where Canada has less, of course, population. Almost 20%, 80% less than the U.S. total population, of course. But what about Europe? What about individually these countries? Spain, Germany, all these European countries, or Brazil. Brazil has 200 million people. What if the Brazilian Supreme Court goes and say, this is the issue. The whole thing, the whole issue about who owns TikTok. If it's based in Singapore, where is it based? The whole thing is different players. Just think about it. We as a small time creators, of course, we're not playing that high, major league games in this TikTok. Who owns it? Who's gonna buy it? If they're gonna buy it, how much it's gonna be? Where is gonna be the headquarters? What's the new rules gonna be? Are they gonna change rules for TikTok, users and producers and small time creators? There are so many questions involved in this issue. Is nerve breaking. If you take a look at if you browse the social media, it's all over the place. And of course, 90%, 70 to 80% of the things that the comments and the issue, the so-called gurus and experts saying, of course it's not true. I mean, social media is full of things that are really not true. I mean, you have to really do your research about things. I mean, do your research about things. I'm just trying to to tell you and to explain you a little bit about what if you are a small time creator, so small time creator, small, I mean, content creator in the small social media world, like I'm trying, I just started. I mean, I was, not long ago. And if this thing goes like that, I mean, what's going to happen? I mean, just think about that. Well, the YouTube is open. YouTube is open with open arms. It's going to receive all these TikTok users, and the idea is that and TikTok consumers, of course, in the U.S. And the idea that, well, that's going to create harm to content creators, current content creators in YouTube. I don't think that's really the situation. I mean, if there are more people coming to YouTube, it's better for us as a small time. I mean, as small content creators, just trying to get on our feet, in this social media world. I mean, to in the YouTube community. So we welcome them. I mean, everybody coming from TikTok, of course. I mean, we will welcome them with open arms. Just come, start your channel, start, or just watch our videos, watch our contents, long-term contents, 20 minutes contents. Most likely this is gonna go like 20 minutes, but sometimes it's a little less. But there is a lots of creative people in the YouTube communities, small time creators that is gonna give value to whatever you're looking for in social media. If you're still on TikTok, just looking for entertainment, you'll find entertainment in YouTube. If you're looking for information, you're gonna find in YouTube information that's gonna be valuable for you in any field that you wanna, use it. In education, technology, in farming, I mean, you name it, in commerce, in sales, in marketing. I mean, you name the thing, and you will find in the YouTube community the answer and the information for that. That it can be used for you. That it can improve your life. It can improve our own life. All of us, our lives. Be a better citizen. Be a better person.